Hi guys, welcome back to Anisha's podcast. It's no more a Manisha podcast, and today, as you can see, the theme is ta-da-da, 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 everything. Today, the theme for Halloween, we dressed up as Harry Potter, cause I'm the biggest Harry Potter fan that you will know, at least in Hong Kong. That's for sure. But look at these ingredients. What do you think we'll be making? We're making hot chia today, guys. It's at 3 a.m. and I woke up severely dehydrated. By the way, this is our potion class. I am so ready. I forgot whose wand I got, but anyways, I have a wand here for Mali Abracadabra type thing. Don't laugh at me, I'm just excited for this, but let me introduce my Harry Potter collection first before anything else, okay? So I have this robe. I'm a Gryffindor, but I want that to be a Slytherin. Anyways, that's it. And I have a wand here, and thank you, Rachel, our star, gave me this for my birthday. So we have this Harry Potter cup from the Miniso collaboration they had. I have this hat from that collaboration too. I got this from Japan. My sister has the butterbeer cup and another butterbeer ice cream cup, I guess, and I got her this from Japan because she's a Slytherin, a snake. And I got this cup, but I have never used it. Can you believe? So I'm gonna use this today. And as you can see, we have the headphones. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but I have my Harry Potter headphones. Okay, let me get my fat ass up. My pants are unzipped right now. I have this, it was a hand fun thingy for the room. I also have this. My friend got me this from Japan. I can put my rings on it. Love this. And I have this makeup Gryffindor bag. Oh, great. My dad's ashtrays there for the support. Sana has this. She got from Miniso as well. She has her wand. It's Slytherin wand, like you can see the snakes and stuff. Fake people. I have this box, I have that box, I have that box, I have this map. It came with my wand together. And there's a baby crying at the back. Yay! Anyways, we have a map. I totally forgot the name of the map. Butcher me. I'm a fake Harry Potter fan. Kill me. Oh wait, I can tell you which wand I have. Oh, I did get Harry Potter's wand. Anyways, guys, let's make hot chia first. Alright, I hope you guys can hear me well, because if you cannot, too bad. So we got some grapes. We've got some strawberries. Then we have some blueberries. Before you say anything, bitches. Yeah, you heard my baby saying it. It's washed, okay? And then we have mangoes. And then we have some strawberry jelly. You can get this from Happy Mart. Before y'all ask and come at me for some gelatin shit, let me try the jelly for us. Yes. So since I don't like strawberry milk, we're not going to be adding that. We're going to add milk and Ruh Afza, the pink drink, the original pink drink. And then we add some Ruh Afza. I love this shit, guys. It's so good. If we get diabetes after this, it's definitely on me. Let's mix this first while Sana's getting the coconut jellies. My brain is not braining today. Oh guys, this looks so good already. I want to shower in this. Have you been watching those AI videos on Instagram? Which bed will you sleep in? AI version. What are these? Coconut jellies. Coconut jellies. 2 of them. And we have some Sprite. Let me add some Sprite. Shh. My mom is being the mom that she is.
A few moments later.
It was at this moment that she knew. She fucked up.
Yay! This is the potion that I have made. As I said, the theme is going to be Halloween since it's October. So I went on Insta and I asked you guys to submit some of your creepy stories, but y'all just love gossip. Like, literally, you guys cannot live without gossip. Let's see what y'all fucking said. Okay, so someone asked me, do you have a stepdad? Like, why would you even think I have a stepdad? People, I don't have a stepdad. Like, what makes you think I have a stepdad? I have one father, and that's kind of it, people. So, no, I don't have a stepdad. And someone said, is it true that you're single? Doesn't matter what I say, because if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. But yes, I am single. If you think that's a lie, then that's a lie for you. Doesn't affect me or my life. But yes, I am single. Stop asking me that question. Y'all will know when I'm not single anymore. Actually, that's kind of the most things I would say, because the others don't relate to me. You can go ask that person yourself if you have the guts. So, let's dive into the first Reddit story. Alright, so the first story, someone said, since it's October, I thought I should share this story from when I was a kid. My mom, struggled with Halloween. So, the story goes, when I was growing up, my mom would get very anxious every year around Halloween. It started with the news stories that always seemed to roll out October 1st. Local police on the local news solemnly warning parents to check every piece of candy their children got. To be on the lookout for razor blades in apples and powdered bleach in the Pop Rocks. As if these were the things that killed kids and not guns or cars or poverty. Well said, I mean. But it's poverty. I said poverty. So I'm making fun of my English, guys. But my mother was a sort of person who was looking for a reason to be afraid. She didn't like us riding our bikes past the end of the street because she was afraid a stranger might come along. At night, she would check every door and window twice, and then check every closet in the house. Twice, she called the police on the guy from the telephone company because he was hanging around the telephone pole in our back laneway. He is a telephone guy, man. And so October always came as a kind of relief for her because it came as an excuse to let her worst fears run rampant. Because the local police and the local news were telling her, you're right, it's scary, it's dangerous, so be afraid. I say always, but I think I just remember those last few years of childhood when she'd gotten really bad. Dad says it started small, got worse as she became more religious. The year I was 9, we got back from trick-or-treating and my mom was sitting on the couch, her eyes red and with red streaks all down her face. And it was clear she'd been crying from the moment we left. Woman, she made me and my sister put down our bags and we weren't allowed to have any candy until she'd gone through each and every piece. She took so long with each one, checking the wrappers under a bright light and grandma's crossword magnifying glass, that she wasn't done until hours after we'd gone to bed enraged. This woman needs to get herself checked. Must have been 3 in the morning when we woke the next day. Half our candy was in the garbage because it hadn't passed muster. I pulled a lot of mine out, and when Mom found out, she screamed at me and cried and tried to ground me. Afterward, my dad had a talk with her, and I wasn't grounded. But he apologized and threw the candy back in the garbage. He promised to buy me more, and he did. But candy just isn't the same as trick-or-treated for a kid. I mean, we don't really go trick-or-treating here, but I get the feeling this child is feeling right now. Continuing, the year I was 10, things came to a head. Mom didn't want us to go out trick-or-treating at all. She had seen it in the news. Satanists were drugging children through the candy. My dad sent us outside to play, but we could hear them arguing inside. Her voice raised, her tears, and the low, calm rumble of his voice slowly rising to match hers. Match. I can't English today. They fought for 3 hours. My sister and I just sitting out back on a pile of old bricks, wearing our Halloween costumes as the day faded. My sister quietly crying as she told me every few minutes, we're missing Halloween. At last, the back door slammed and my father stormed out. He had a red mark on his cheek and his jaw clenched. When he saw the two of us sitting there, his eyes filled with angry tears and he flung out both his arms towards us and said, "Come on, kids, we're going trick or treating." Good for you, man. At least the dad brought the kids trick or treating no matter what. We each held his hand and he walked us around the house. And when we got out front, my mom was standing at the door shouting, "What are you doing, Frank? You're going to get them killed." "Sure, bitch. Sure." He told her very calmly, "I'm taking the kids trick or treating, Linda." At that, she ran out of the house after us, reaching for my sister and I, but we both hid behind our dad, and he put out his arm protectively to either side. "You don't want to stay?" She howled at us. At us. She howled at us. "You don't want to stay with mommy?" But we were both so afraid of her red face and her wide, wild, shining eyes that we just shook our heads and clung to Dad's jacket. At this, she shrank to the pavement. "You don't love me," she told us. "You don't love me. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing." Woman, seems like a psychosis episode to me. Yeah, mental breakdown. There we go. Dad just put his arms around us and steered us away. "We'll be back at 8, he said. When we were down at the end of the block, he told us, "I'm sorry about your mother, kids. She's going through a really tough time right now, and I don't know how to help her." "Is she going to be okay?" my sister asked. He put his arms around her and said, "Yes, honey, it's all going to be okay." She believed him. She was just a little kid. But I was just old enough to realize from the way he said it that he was trying to convince himself as much as us. Well, it was Halloween and we were still kids, and before long we were having fun running up to the houses and being as cute as we could, and being as scary as we could, and being as silly as we could. And each time we ran back down to the sidewalk, our dad would be standing there with a big sad smile to tell us how great we were doing. Oh, I feel bad for the man. By the end of the night, we each had a full pillowcase and my sister was half asleep being carried in the crook of my dad's arm. We got home after dark and I was afraid that Mom would still be lying in the pavement crying out front, but she had gone to her room and didn't come out to bother us, even as we sat on the living room floor and counted all out spoils, and Dad told us, "You can have 2 pieces, then it's bed." But when I went to bed, I couldn't really sleep. All I could see when I closed my eyes were the red tear streaks running down my mom's face, the bright black ring of her tear-clogged eyelashes, the terror blazing in her wide eyes. I pulled the covers up my head and I cried for a long, long time. Eventually, you run out of tears. That blessed numb calm came over me, and I lay there for a while, just watching the patterns of the popcorn ceiling. After a while, I still hadn't fallen asleep, and I decided I was hungry. All those tears had left me hollow, and now I wanted to fill myself with something sweet. Something that when I ate it, it would remind me of the feeling of happiness. Well, I had Halloween candy just out in the living room. So I got up quietly, crept to the door, opened it as softly as I could, then padded down the carpeted hall toward the living room. I could see faintly by the moonlight which drained down the skylight above the couch. There was a faint rustle in the living room ahead. Creepy. Of course, my first childish thought was that a burglar had come to steal our candy. But as I slowed and peeked around the corner, Sana, are you ready for this part? Are you ready for this part? When what I found was the dark mass of my mother, piled up in her blankets on the couch. Her hair was wild and she wasn't crying anymore, but her shoulders were shaking with little suppressed sobs, and yet, despite her trembling breath, she was intent as she hunched over something in her hands, and her movements were purposeful, deliberate. Guys, I'm laughing because it's like, what the fuck? My sister's trick-or-treat bag was on the coffee table. There were a few full-sized bars we'd gotten from the rich house down the street. My mother had carefully unwrapped one of them, keeping her fingers cold with a bowl of ice water and a kitchen towel on the couch cushion beside her. She was fiddling with a chocolate bar. I wasn't sure what she was doing until something in her fingers caught the dim moonlight from above. a razor blade.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
Yep. I watched in stunned silence and confusion as she slowly worked the blade into soft chocolate and nougat. It was mostly hidden. Then, carefully, she closed the wrapper up, using a dab from a glue stick to almost make it look as though the mailer had never been opened at all. After that, she drew a new razor from the pack and reached for my bag of candy. I took a trembling half step forward. I said, "Mom?"
Oh, hell no!
And I'll never forget the brightness of her eyes in the dark. That's the first story. And this story was posted 2 years ago though. But I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, what kind of mom will be so nuts just to prove her point? She's like trying to get her kids to eat razor blades just to scare them.
I feel like, yeah, either she had like some trauma with it growing up, or you know how she got so paranoid, and you know how people with anxiety, they usually get so paranoid. It's kind of like an OCD type thing. Like, I have to check every single thing, because like honestly, we've heard a few cases where actually kids died because they were like either cocaine mixed in it or like blades. I feel like because she felt so betrayed that she felt like she should, you know, prove her point. That's why she was doing it in the middle of the night or in the morning, you could say, because no one will realize it's her. So basically she would have proven her point. So it's a method of gaslighting and manipulating. But I feel like she was going through a psychosis or like too much anxiety and all that she, you know, triggered herself.
For me, it just sounded like she tried to control her kids and she didn't succeed, so she wanted to prove her point. No, but it's like, because she is so paranoid all the time, so just to prove her point, she really tries to fucking get her kids killed from stupid razor blades. Like, dude, I have braces on. When my lips get cut from the braces itself, it feels like a bitch. Imagine mistakenly you like kind of have a razor blade in your mouth, and like, what the fuck is she trying to do? Anyways, that's the first story, and I'm just like, what in the actual fuck? Anyways, moving on to the second story. So that's the only long story, guys. The other stories are quite short, like I said. And if you keep on hearing some crying sounds, because we have a newborn baby here, okay? Alright, story number 2. As it's nearly Halloween, how about we share some creepy stories? I'll go first, is the title. So, when I was about 13, my mom and dad invited round our previous neighbors from the block of flats we lived in until I was 5 years old. Anyway, I'd been sent to bed, but could still hear everyone talking about this and that, until the woman neighbor said, "Hey Dixie's mom, do you remember when Dixie used to complain that there was someone in his room? Well, there's a family that's just moved into the floor above who have a 3-year-old son. He is complaining of the exact same things Dixie did." Girl, it's the fact that they don't believe kids, and then they're like, never mind, someone else's kid is saying it too. This creeped me out. I had no recollection of any of this. So the next day, asked my mom. Her first reaction was, "You don't remember?" Then she told me all about the weird stuff that used to happen. Footsteps up and down the hall, shit going missing and stuff. She said the final thing to happen was when she was listening to a record one day and it started to slow down, like someone was holding a finger gently on the platter till it finally came to a stop. Bitch, I fucking got goosebumps. My mom said she snapped at this point and started shouting, "Will you leave us the fuck alone?" As soon as she said this, the record went straight back to playing normally, and we never experienced anything again. I've never experienced anything like that since. And these days, I'm quite skeptical of such stories, but I believe my mom. Strangest thing is how I found out about it from someone else 10 years later experiencing something similar. So Reddit, Halloween is almost upon us. Now's your chance to share something freaky. What's your opinion on this?
I feel like, I don't know, like supernatural could be, but it could be someone living with them. But I don't know, because you know how you hear those stories where people think their house is haunted, but there's actually someone living in the basement or some shit, like those creepy ass stories, or like they come in at night because they had the key. But I feel like this is something like, I don't know if I believe it, but like I feel like could be a possibility. Like you never know. But this reminded me of something. People are like, Gen Zs are never gonna get haunted because once their child starts seeing some shit, they're out of the house. Or Asians can't be haunted because they're just gonna charge you rent for it instead. Yeah, I feel like this one's like a bit of a iffy. Like an okay, could be possible, or I feel like maybe it's just, how some houses are really old, so they have some problems. So no matter what, like your electronics might have some like, problems or some shit. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one.
But you know how you say you don't believe it, but how about that record thingy? The record slowing down. But that's so common. It's reminding me of, what was that? The Nun? Conjuring? The ghost at the house. It's a real life story. Is it The Conjuring? I think it's The Conjuring. Anyways, that's the second story. Guys, the thing is, we don't have any stories like that. I had one last year and I already shared it with you guys. But yeah. Okay. The third story is really, this story, when I read it, guys, it's so short, but I literally got goosebumps so bad, and I kept on thinking about this story even afterwards. So, like, literally, okay, I still did research on my notebook, right? You know what I wrote after reading this story? Short and creepy. It's my conclusion. But let me read it for you guys. It's crazy. It's actually, I was like shook as Ultra Pro Max, So this story's title is The Puppy in the Basement. You just talked about basement, and this came to my mind, things I imagine it because I read this story before already. So, Mommy told me never to go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy. So I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad and I cried. Then Mommy told me to never go into the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. Guys, just looking at Sana's face because it's like, what the fuck? But that's the story, Sana.
It's a shocked Pikachu.
Yeah. No, okay. If they're just saying like why the boy is making the noise, I would understand. But what do you mean by he had no hands or feet? Like, so he just had legs and no feet and arms? Did the parents cut his arms and legs off so he couldn't run away? But that just got really dark. What do you think about this story?
I don't think it's true, honestly. But you know what this reminds me of? Remember, like, during that period where these type of stories got really famous, like, oh, we were so poor and like we didn't have any food at home, but like my sister decided to help out, and then like a few months later when he goes to see the sister has like no hand and feet because they ate the hand and feet. There were a lot of stories like this. This is obviously not real, but I feel like these type of stories are like, so like, what the fuck? But I feel like it could happen, but I don't think it would be a horror story. It'd be a kidnapping true crime story instead. Cause like there are some stories where like they don't fully chop off, but you know how they cut the back. There was this one movie where the girl got kidnapped and he cut like the back of her ankles. So she the something heals, so she couldn't escape. But I feel like this is very far-fetched, even made the baby cry.
Anyways, guys, but from the way I see it, I don't really believe this story. No, it's the way that they wrote mommy. Like, you're a grown person, maybe you do call your mom mommy since young, but then for me, the mommy, I couldn't take it seriously. But the first time I read this story, guys, like the goosebumps I got was crazy. You know that horror movie we watched on the Korean one, Park Seo-joon, Udohan? You know the basement part when the kid had ghost in him? Yeah, that's what's reminding me of. Like I couldn't take it seriously. Okay, the next story. My brother can tell me when someone is going to die, but how does he see it? Is the title. So, this story is like, I think it's just Halloween appropriate, but it's nothing spooky. It's like he has a witchy sixth sense. So, let me tell you the story. This is a story I heard from my friend Melissa, a pseudonym, about her older brother. I decided to write it down in her own voice. So if you have some time, please read it. And I read it. Hehe. I have an older brother 3 years older than me. My brother has always been quiet since he was little, the kind of person you'd call sensitive or overly serious. While most boys loved to play outside and be loud with friends, he hated noise and preferred to stay indoors, watching TV or reading comic books. He was the complete opposite of me, who was always outside making noise and laughing with friends. Even our parents and relatives used to say, "It's like the two of you were born switched." Even so, we got along surprisingly well. We often talked about TV shows and comic books together. I forgot where part I was. Comic books together. Since my brother rarely went out, he didn't have many friends. One day, I asked him, "Aren't you lonely? You don't have any friends, do you?" He answered, "I'm not lonely. I have 2 friends in the house. I talk to them about all sorts of things." He did not just say that. I would have ran out of that house. Our family was poor at the time, so we lived in an old, run-down rental house in a cheap neighborhood. But I had never seen my brother with anyone other than family. So I asked, "Where are your friends in the house?" He said,
Left and right.
"They don't come out when everyone's awake. It's too noisy. They come out at night. When I'm the only one here, that's when we talk." But that's not the main part of the story. It sounded strange, but since my brother often made up stories and wrote them down in notebooks, I figured it was just one of his imaginations. I remember hearing about his two friends, a few more times after that. A few years passed. I was in middle school and my brother was in high school. On our way back from visiting my father's parents, they lived in a farmhouse out in the countryside. My brother, sitting beside me in the back seat, whispered, just loud enough for me to hear, "Grandpa doesn't have much time left." He's just like, "Oh yeah, I bet he's gonna die." My father's family were farmers and Grandpa was strong and full of life. He had never been sick a day in his life. He ate well, drank a lot, and was more energetic than anyone else. The thought of him dying soon was absurd. Me. "What do you mean? He looks perfectly fine." "Brother, you'll understand soon enough. Grandpa doesn't have any color left." "Me? No color? What do you mean by that?" He didn't answer, just turned his face toward the window, his expression unreadable. By then, I had already realized that my brother might have what people call a sixth sense. I figured those 2 friends from his childhood were probably spirits. He would often get nauseous or feel chills whenever he went to places where accidents or tragedies had happened. So when he said he doesn't have much time, I felt something indescribable, a chill that crawled up my spine. I couldn't sleep that night. A few days later, Grandpa was diagnosed with liver cancer. It was stage 2, but his liver was strong and there were no metastases. He underwent surgery and began chemotherapy. Since his life wasn't in danger, the family relaxed and visited him often at the hospital. Everyone except my brother. He went with us on the day of the surgery, but as soon as Grandpa was wheeled out of the operating room, he turned pale and said he felt sick. After that, he never visited again. No matter how much our parents asked or scolded him, he wouldn't say a word about Grandpa. Eventually, they stopped asking. 10 days after the surgery, just when everyone thought Grandpa was recovering, he passed away suddenly, not from cancer though, but from a heart attack. When I heard the news, I thought, so my brother knew. My brother, who usually disliked most people, had always liked Grandpa. At the funeral, he cried silently without making a sound. Even now, as adults in our 40s, that was the only time I've ever seen my brother cry. He once told me, when someone's close to death, their color starts to fade. I can tell when their time is near. I'm getting goosebumps on my fucking feet. When it's truly the end, they turn black and white, like all the color drains away. When Grandpa came out of the operating room, he was completely black and white. It was hard to look at him. Girl, bro, I'm getting the goosebumps. Now both my brother and I are in our 40s. That strange ability of his to see people turn black and white before they die has faded with time. He says he hardly sees it anymore. I think maybe also because he doesn't really see the spirit friends anymore. I mean, I don't know. It's not really said here, but I feel like the more you grow up, like, you know, you move away from the house or something like that, maybe he stops seeing those two spirits. So he doesn't really have that power. So that's the story. What's your opinion?
I feel like I believe it. I mean, I also have the sixth sense thingy.
You do.
Like my predictions do come true.
That's when I actually had, like, sometimes she would tell me something, no matter how long it takes for it to happen.
It will happen. And usually I know around, like, how long it will take sometimes. I feel like one thing is right. Maybe, you know how as a kid you're more, like, sensitive to everything. You're more intuitive. I feel like that's why he could, like, see his two special friends. But I feel like as you grow up, you, like, kind of...
You're not as pure anymore, to be honest.
Not as pure, and you're not as, like, in tune, you know? Like, you know how there's all those, like, tarot reading, like, people, like, professionals, they always, like, are very in tune with our spiritual energy, like that. But I feel like because he never really bothered, so I feel like that's why, like, he doesn't see him anymore. It's not as, like, prone. Because even for me, like, I used to, like...
You don't have it that much anymore, though, no?
Yeah, before I used to, every month I used to tell her some shit, and then it would happen.
Yeah.
And
About
then,
me.
yeah,
About me.
it was always about her, though. Like, she was too bright. But, like, I feel like that is one true thing. And I feel like, honestly, the more you grow, the more you go, like, life happens the way it happens. I don't really have to predict shit, or, like, I don't really have to, like, pay attention. So yeah, I feel like it is true.
Me too, I believe this story.
But, like, color part is very interesting though, like black and white.
Kind of reminds me of Inside Out.
Inside Out, right? And I feel like the black and white part maybe could be like, you know how you fade into nothing? So it's like the color gives you life. Black and white is like lifeless, or it's like very monotone. So I feel like that's also one thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're like dissolving
It's
into
really a lot
nothing.
more heartfelt type.
Yeah, it's more touching because it's like the brother didn't know what to do, and it's not like he knew how he would die. All he knew is like Grandpa had no more color. That's it. So yeah.
So that's the story. Now, going to the next one. Oh, this is about Indonesia. So this one, I literally only put it in because it's about Indonesia and we went Bali. So I was like, it's really interesting though. Remember how we did get creeped out sometimes, but it was nothing supernatural. Like, we just got creeped out because I'm like a tamsil guy type person. So our house was so big and it was 2 stories, and it was like,
And we're just 4 people too.
yeah. Anyway, so let's tell you this one. And this one is quite fresh. It's posted 8 days ago. So the title is called Something Strange Happened One Night at a Hostel in Indonesia. I don't know if anyone will believe this, but it really happened to me a couple of months back when I was backpacking in Indonesia. I was staying at this small old hostel in a quiet coastal town. I won't say the name, but it used to be a part of an old Dutch area. The place looked nice online, but in person it felt kind of forgotten. There were only a few rooms, and that night I was the only guest. The back of the hostel had an old locked gate that led to a small cemetery and what looked like the remains of a Dutch church. The owner mentioned it once and laughed, but something about it didn't feel right. That night, I couldn't sleep. The place was too quiet and I could hear every sound. Around midnight, I started hearing footsteps on the wooden terrace outside my room, slow, heavy ones. It didn't sound like someone just passing by. It was more like whoever it was kept walking back and forth. The boards creaked with each step, and then it stopped right in front of my window. I just froze. I was sure someone was standing out there. I didn't move or make a sound for a few seconds. I hear what I swear sounded like breathing. Not loud, but close. My window curtain was thin, and I could see a faint shadow through it. It looked tall, taller than a normal person. I wanted to call out, but my voice wouldn't come out. After what felt like forever, the steps started again, slowly moving away down the terrace until everything went quiet. I didn't sleep after that. I just sat up and waited for the sun. In the morning, when I stepped outside, the dust on the terrace had marks in front of my room, like someone had walked there during the night. When I told the owner what I heard, he just gave me a weird smile and said, "You're not the first." I left that morning and didn't look back. Even now, I still remember those footsteps. Slow, heavy, and too close. I believe in this one. I'll just say that. I believe in it. Really? You really don't believe in this one? Why? I'm interested. Why?
I feel like it could just be a pervert. Honestly. It could be. I feel like it could be the owner too. Because why he giving you a weird ass smile? What the fuck's going on there? But I feel like, yeah, I don't think it's true, because I feel like, honestly, in this world, these type of shit happen. So I don't really think it's a ghost or anything. But I feel like one thing, maybe they used the cemetery as an excuse to make them more paranoid. You know, if there were no marks, right, I would say she's paranoid because the owner was like, there's a cemetery here, and she was like, oh my god, you know. But I feel like because there were marks, right, and I feel like because she told the owner, and the owner's not really like panicked, like he's used to it, right? So either it's someone that the owner knows, or it's the owner himself who's doing this. But like, I don't know, like they didn't escalate or anything, which is a good thing. But like, in my opinion, I feel like it's a true story, not a supernatural story. Like a person, it's an actual person there.
Okay, you have a point, but you know, for me, it's like she said I was the only guest that night. It's just like, why is that place so empty? Reputation. No, but talking about it, when we went to Bali, booked the villa and stuff, right? When we went there, the address kept on getting further and further and further from what we originally got, and I was so pissed. Anyways, so the next story, now it's gonna be about Ouija board. So, people who have used a Ouija board, what's the scariest response you've gotten? They kind of threw me off, some of them. This one was scary to me. My mom and aunt used a board after their dad died. He had remarried, but had told his daughters that he was leaving them a few things in his will, including some money. His second wife was the executor and was saying he hadn't left them money, etc., etc., etc. Sorry, I can't remember exactly what she apparently said. Anyways, Mom and her sister thought it was possible the money wasn't left to them after all, like second wife said. But my aunt was really strapped for cash, and they felt like it was also possible second wife was withholding info and money. Family drama. They apparently managed to get their dad via the Ouija board. Damn. And asked him whether he had left them money in his will. It spelled out a 3-letter acronym for a bank, and then a series of numbers. Turns out he did have a bank account with money in it intended for his daughters. The account matched the bank acronym and account number. This one spooked me because the details were a surprise to my mom and my aunt. I didn't know how they could have got that info out of thin air. It's very much like vibe, you know? What do you think, Santa Banana? But this story is quite short. But this story is not creepy, it's more nice, you know? But then it's very much like, no, I need that money. I know he left me that money, but at the same time, like you know, desi drama shit. Lens, so to said. You have anything to say?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's very sus. It imagine who did it again? The mother,
Mom and aunt.
the mom and aunt. Imagine one of them knew the truth and they were just leading the other.
That's interesting how I never thought of it in that way.
Yeah, because like I feel like Ouija board is like, you know, it's like that one. Remember the pencil one we used to do? Yes, yes, no, no. You ask a question, you spin the pencil. No, you don't spin the pencil. And then you wait, and then when there's a wind, and then the pen will move.
I don't remember to play that.
Bro, we used to play that so much. Like, does he have a crush on me? And then we'll wait, and then the wind, and then we're like, yeah, exactly. I don't think it's true, but I mean, take it with a grain of salt, I would say. Yeah.
Alright, this story, guys, it's freaking crazy. It's quite long too, but let me tell you. This person used it, her or himself, because there's no really name. So, the first and only time I ever used one. I was a teenager playing on it with a friend on my back porch. I didn't know of anyone who had died really, except I remembered from an old photo on the wall a great aunt called Neil. The name Neil stuck with me because it was a boy's name. So I try to talk to great aunt Neil, but when I speak, I say without hesitation or control, Aunt Connie. I thought, that's weird. I don't have an Aunt Connie. I try again and say, I'm trying to speak with, and mentally saying the word Neil, Aunt Connie. So like, and mentally saying the word Neil is like quotations, but he says Aunt Connie. It was an involuntary response, very weird, but we moved on and kept playing. When my mom got home from running errands, she asked how our game was going, and I replied it's fine, except I kept trying to talk to great aunt Neil, but kept saying Connie, which is so weird because I don't have an Aunt Connie. I still remember my mom's face in that moment. It turns out I did have an Aunt Connie. She was a baby who died of SIDS, SIDS, decades before I was born. My mom almost named me after her. I went on to have extreme paranormal experiences that continue to this day actually. I think it opened a door that I haven't been able to close. Edit. The scariest thing that have ever happened to me were from when I was moody 15 to 18-year-old girl that seemed to really energize my surroundings, and lots of scary things happened. I saw people, heard my name whispered in my ear at night multiple times, heard footsteps daily, and heard a voice mimic my father's and walk around the kitchen. That one convinced me that we were broken into, and I stayed outside until my boyfriend came to get me. Of course, nobody there. My brother moved back into the family house after college and confirmed he also heard a voice mimic our father's and walk around the kitchen. He didn't offer this info. I had to pull it out of him over dinner years later. We independently experienced this and didn't know it. In college, I saw a girl standing over my roommate's bed in the middle of the night. I woke up the next day and was like, hey, who was that? Roomie was like, oh hell no. She and I still talk about it today. We were on a sorority hall at the time, so I dismissed it initially. It only hit me later that I didn't recognize her or see her legs. The other weirdest thing in college was someone kept getting into bed next to me, never touched me, but the mattress went down with their weight. That one spooked me. Maybe it's just your roommate trying to sleep in the same bed with you. But yeah.
I feel like maybe the ghost of her is attached to the girl. Because, like, you know how the mom was thinking of name her? So it's kind of like identity. It's like I'm thinking of this person, so it's kind of like she connected them. Like, even though she didn't give the name, she probably thought of it like really hard, like for a few weeks, even months maybe. So you know how it's like the more you think about it, the more spiritually the girl is like called because you're thinking about it, so the dead girl is called. So I feel like maybe she is like super attached to her. And another thing I feel like is maybe she could be like living through her vicariously. Like in a way it's like she didn't get to live her life, but she can see this girl live her life. But like it's not like she can do any harm to her or anything. It's just that she can just stay with her, because in a way with all the way the mom was, it's kind of like it connected them both. Yeah, so that's what I think.
Alright, guys, now Sana's gonna tell us a story, but the thing is, I have never heard about it, so you're gonna see my experience. And just so you guys know, I'm an exaggerator. I would give big reactions. Haha.
From the R in our SARS. Basically, she said it was when she was studying in Philippines, and from what she heard, right, her school used to be a clinic, and students had mentioned that they would hear shit in the bathroom. And there was this one classroom with a toilet inside. One kid saw trails of blood on the wall and heard someone praying. And then, mind you, their school was a Christian school, and this kid was stuck in the toilet and couldn't get out. Eventually, students had gone feral, running around after what they had heard. So someone got stuck in that toilet, but the thing is, right, before that, they, like, some students claimed they saw trails of blood, other students heard someone praying from there. So basically, it's kind of like a ritual bathroom. Don't you think so? Like, with the blood and the praying? What the fuck is happening in a Christian school?
Why is it always Christian schools? I don't understand it. No, but okay, wait, I don't really understand. You said someone got locked in the bathroom, right?
And then someone got locked in the bathroom. And then after the students heard, they started panicking and running around.
But then why would there even be a toilet inside a classroom to begin with? I don't really see any schools having that.
Right?
Maybe that's like a rich school?
Maybe it's a Philippine thing.
Maybe. But then, except that, is there nothing else that creepy happened from that stall, maybe from that bathroom? Like that stall, or it's just one toilet?
That one toilet, because it's inside the classroom.
But it's just one toilet. I would never go to a toilet like that. Yeah.
That as a toilet.
But would you even go to that toilet in the classroom? I'm scared people will hear me pee.
Like, that's a you thing. Like, she is there. Like, imagine someone gets stuck and they're like, let me out, I can't get out.
How did she get out?
I don't know. She didn't say it, but like, someone got stuck.
Who was the one that got stuck?
Someone else.
Okay.
Not her.
Okay.
Someone else.
What the fuck? Guys, this was reminding me of my bathroom experience. The one that I told you guys about last year. The toilet. Yeah.
We all screamed.
I scream, you scream, give it a ice cream.
Okay, so this story I got to know from our high school teacher.
So guys, Sana has another story to tell. Let's listen.
Yeah, okay, so my other story is from our high school teacher who told us in our lesson.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so what happened was, right, this is actually a true story. It was on the news. So, like, I think a famous actress, or I think just a random girl. What happened to her is that she went to this building. Okay, so she went to a building and then she went on an elevator. And then when she was in the elevator, it took her to a floor. And that
Didn't exist?
No, it did exist. But it took her to this specific floor, which was not the floor that she pressed. And then what happened was that when the lift door opened, all she saw was burnt.
Burnt?
Burnt. Yeah. Like the floor was burnt. Like, you know, the charcoal black after? That's all she saw. But the building wasn't on fire before and isn't on fire right now. So what happened was, that's what happened, right? And then I think it was like a vision or it's something she saw, right? But then when the lift obviously goes to the floor that she pressed. When it went to the floor that she pressed, it was just normal. Like she blinked her eye and then it wasn't there anymore. Like she closed the door and then she just went up. So this was something that she told people, oh, I saw this, like this really weird thing happened to me. And then
Did the building really got on fire a few days later or something?
Yeah, like a week or a few days later, that specific floor got on fire,
I fucking got goosebumps on
and
my
it was like the same charcoal black that she saw.
like sand lao.
Sentinel.
Yo, what the fuck?
Exactly. I was like, what the fuck?
Shit.
And it was on the news. Apparently, he showed us the news.
But that girl went on the news too to give an interview or something?
No, you know how they have that animation,
Uh-huh.
the really silly animations before. Yeah, they had that, and he showed us that he's like she went to this floor that wasn't on hers, and then all she saw was black, and she got creeped out, and she quickly like closed the lift door and went back to her floor.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Okay, it's kind of like she saw the future.
it's like a prophecy. She had a vision.
But
Yeah.
like, damn. But did she ever had like spiritual experiences before?
I don't know. I don't remember because I don't remember the story really well. But I just
Damn.
remembered because we were discussing about like any that we have ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wait a second, I remember this.
Damn. I mean, I'm glad we never had any.
But like, I noticed a lot of people. It's like the same as the ghost one, the two friends, the color, he knows when
Yeah.
people die. It's kind of like that. Like I really believe in that because like even for me,
Well, that one I believe in it too.
like remember how there was a few times I'm like something bad is happening and then something bad happens.
Yeah, guys, Nana has a really strong sixth sense when we were in high school. Like she would say, I know something bad is gonna happen. Like she couldn't really pinpoint into what, but she could guess what person will be involved, like who will be involved, or like who will be the main one in this like fight or like whatever that's gonna happen, and it would come true. It doesn't matter if it was about family, about my friends, about what. She really could guess. And then I think the more older you got, the more I think you still get it, you just don't tell me.
I feel like it's just normal adult things that you're just
Yeah.
like maybe I'm just imagining it.
Yeah.
No, but like yeah, because like even for me, like sometimes I don't exactly know. Sometimes I know every single detail. Remember? And I
Yeah.
get a lot of deja vu's, but I feel like that is really normal.
Mm-hmm.
But like my dreams, I dream of things that happens a week later,
Bitch.
like the visions. But I don't know if I'm like, tricking
QQ?
myself
Yeah.
or anything. Like
Yeah. Anyways, guys, so that's the end of this podcast episode. And let us know, what do you want to see next? I was thinking more of a murder case type thing, or maybe a challenge.
we could do like a makeover challenge if you guys want.
I really want to do
'Cause-
one where someone gets me ready.
Because like what she wants to do is like a case.
Yeah.
What me and like my friend want to do is like a full-on makeover for all three of us.
That's funny. That's funny. Not funny. Like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
And-
let us know then.
Yeah, let us know, and let us know what you thought of this episode. And from now on, it's just gonna be Anisha. So should we name it Ashes Podcast or Anisha's Podcast? I like the Ashes.
Ashes.
Ashes
Go
Podcast.
for a new thing. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, anyways, guys, so when it's gonna be SAR, it's gonna be more about mystery shit or like murder cases. When it's gonna be just like Anisha, like me alone, it's kind of gonna be like podcast like that. Yeah. So this was our Halloween podcast of this year. Last year we did one, and then that one was nice too. It was like we had personal experiences to
Yeah,
tell there, but
that-
then I don't really have any other except the one in high school. But yes, so that's the end of today's podcast. Let us know, how did you like this episode? Do you like my Harry Potter collection? Who else is a Harry Potter fan? I don't think I've seen someone as much of a Harry Potter fan as me. Aksa.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ding ding. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Mehu tusur. Bye, bitches. See y'all
Bye bye.
when I see y'all. Bye.
Bye.